Yo, good morning, my patrons. Today we're going to go over chapter 5 of Outwitting the Devil. We're out in nature enjoying this moment. So we're going to go over this. Now, there are a couple of important things about this chapter. One, we're going to cover in this chapter flattery. We're also going to cover egotism and vanity. We will also cover propaganda. And we will also cover how to escape from, how to begin your escape from the clutches of the devil. So let's go ahead and get started on how we're going to get through this. Now, the first thing that he starts talking about here in chapter 5 is how he uses repetition to trick the devil and to get the point across so that all of us can have a deeper understanding of what the devil really is and what a drifter really is. He goes that this interview will continue until you have supplied me with the weapon that will eventually free people from your control. So this is what this portion is really about, is getting you ready for that. That he wants the devil to give out the formula that will break down the barriers so that people can begin to outwit the devil for themselves and be able to change your life and not live your life in fear. He tells the devil that you fear the truth and nothing else. For this reason, it is slowly but definitely giving human beings freedom from all manners of fear. Recognizing that fear is the primary thing as to why people are captured and stuck by the devil. Okay? And the devil admits that this is true. And he asks him, why do you continue to ask me that? He said, because of the power of repetition, the power of repetition. If I sound repetitive, if this book sounds repetitive, it is because the more you hear something, the more it becomes part of you, it becomes ingrained in you. And if I'm shivering a little bit, it is because it's cold out here a little bit. Okay? So he tells the devil to go ahead and confess why you are powerless to stop him from forcing this confession out of it. And this is vital. This is the very important confession of the devil. And I want you guys to hear this part. He said that you know that I exist only in the minds of people who have fears. You know that I control only the drifters who neglect to use their own minds. You know that my hell is here on earth. Hell is here on earth and not in the world that comes after death. You know that I am a principle or form of energy which expresses the negative side of matter and energy. You know you have become my master because you have mastered your fears. He says that I cannot control you because you have discovered your own mind and you have taken charge of it. This is why the confession was wringed from the devil. This is also why Napoleon Hill was able to grow by leaps and bounds after this manuscript was written. You have to understand, he wrote the laws of success first. Then he wrote this manuscript of Outwitting the Devil, and then he wrote Think and Grow Rich. If you listen to the first part of these videos on Outwitting the Devil, you know that his life was in turmoil. He didn't think he was fit to be able to teach leadership, to be able to teach how to become wealthy. He didn't think that he was running from gangsters. He had lost his family. He was destitute. But it was after writing this manuscript that allowed him to write Think and Grow Rich, which became his most popular selling book of all time and is one of the most popular books of all time. So understand that the control of your own mind and your own thoughts are vital for your success, for your ability to live out a heaven on earth, not a hell on earth. So he can say that, and Napoleon Hill states that truth is the one and only thing in the world that can stand ridicule. And then after that, he asks the devil, what is one of your greatest tricks? And this is where he starts to talk about flattery. He says flattery is one of my most useful weapons. That once you understand the concept of flattery, you'll understand how the devil utilizes this tool in order to entrap you, to get you always chasing things that you can't have, always feeling like your life is empty, never having that mental control over your life. So he talks about that, how it's a powerful weapon. It has a power pulling qualities because it operates through two of the most common human weaknesses, which is vanity and egotism. And it is the best rope. Flattery will capture you every time, especially, and he talks about how, understand, this was written in 1938. Men were generally the ones who worked, women were the ones who stayed at home. Women were looked more upon as arm candy sex objects. They were looked upon as mothers, wives, not so much in the business world as we do today. They weren't given equal or fair treatment. So in the world of flattery, he gets into how men can be mastered through flattery but not through sex appeal. and that he teaches flattery to both men and women. He uses flattery towards a woman to tell her that she looks good in a dress and tell her that her clothes fit her well. Those are kind of like the only descriptions that he used. But we know those still work today. You tell a woman how good she looks in an outfit and she purrs like a kitten. You tell a man that he is like, his term, a Herculean body, and that he's a great businessman, and you know his egotism gets the best of him. So vanity and flattery still work. We just have to understand how it works in today's society so that we can not become susceptible to it. But he talks about in the part of egotism that is so vital in understanding. And this works both for men and women. I know, like I said, he wrote this book when there was a clear separation of the two in society of how we live, but now those lines have blurred. But even in the blurring of those lines, there are still just biological things that still work. You tell any person about how good they look, and they usually will become susceptible to the vanity, but also the egotism of telling somebody that they are amazing. But here's the thing. And he said this is the type of woman, but this works for men and women. He said the type of woman you perhaps have in mind never sells a man herself, or anything she can give him. Instead, she sells him his own egotism. I want you to think about that. I can't tell you everything about me, but I would just say this. In certain fields of work that I worked in, the influence wasn't the fact that I sold people on me and what I could do for them. The influence was selling people on their own egotism, their own stuff they already have, things they already do, accomplishments, you know, floating their ego, as we like to say. That it wasn't, I didn't get in with these people because I was just so amazing myself. I got in because they saw that I appreciated where they already were, and they saw that I had a talent to help them get to the next level. And that it was a way of getting in, working through their egotism. So, and that can work for both men and women, okay? Of utilizing their egotism, not selling them on me and my talents, but selling them on their own talents that they have. It's like coming up to somebody and selling them on the house that they already own and making them feel good about the house that they already own, right? And then they feel like you've done them a great service by selling them on the house that they already own. So he asked the devil to tell him some of his other tricks. Oh yeah, and I forgot to tell you this part in the beginning. Failure is the other issue that we're going to talk about. And he said that one of his most effective, like a hawk out here, one of his most effective tools is failure. Now there's a paradox when we talk about failure here.